क्योंकि हमारे घर में तो माई मदर यूज टू बी आप चेंजिंग द बल्ब्स इन द हाउस, गैस सिलेंडर आता है, माई मदर यूज टू पिक इट अप एंड चेंज इट. माई फादर तो यूज टू मेक फन आफ्टर वी वर बोर्न कि ये मिस इंडिया थी, अब मदर इंडिया बन गई है. शाम का वक्त जब होता है तो भातुकली
घर खेलते हैं.
हाँ, घर खेलते हैं. वो छोटी छोटी प्लेट और वो टी कप वो सब होता है. आई विल लाइक नो, आई एम प्लेइंग क्रिकेट विद इकबाल. When I was starting off, there was a lot of my piece of advice to you. You should get a lip job done. Compromise करना पड़ेगा.
Hi Saiyami, how are you?
Very well. How are you?
Very good, yeah. Welcome to the Male Feminist. I love your smile. What a beautiful kind of positive vibrance दे रही हो आप उस
How
समय को.
sweet, यार. Thank you. And I love that we are twinning.
Twinning, yes, high five on that. Oh, we do fist five again.
Fist.
कैसा था आपका माहौल when you were growing up? What was the scene? कौन क्या काम करता होता था घर पे?
तो my growing up तो नासिक में ही हुआ है.
जी.
My parents didn't want to bring us up in a filmy atmosphere. Didn't want to bring us up in Mumbai.
ऐसा क्यों?
उन्होंने कहा कि यार जिंदगी में और बहुत कुछ होता है यार. मतलब बड़े शहर में आप जब रहते हो तो वो ऐसे एक पॉन्ड सा बन जाता है, उसके आगे पीछे समझ में नहीं आता क्या हो रहा है लाइफ में. तो हम नासिक गए और बचपन तो माउंटेन्स पर बिताया है, ट्रैक्स किए हैं, स्विमिंग इन लेक्स नॉर्मल सी थी हमारे लिए. स्कूल के बाद मैं बैडमिंटन खेलती थी, तो लाइक 4 hours ऑफ बैडमिंटन, ट्यूशन्स. माई पेरेंट्स हैड 3 रेस्टोरेंट्स, तो मैं रेस्टोरेंट में वेटर थी, रेस्टोरेंट में मैं किचन में काम करती थी, और समर वेकेशंस वर बैडमिंटन ट्रेनिंग एंड रनिंग द रेस्टोरेंट.
Oh wow.
So my parents had 3 restaurants. तो एक my dad used to run, one my mom used to run, and one my older sister and I used to run. तो मैं 10 साल की थी, वो 12 साल की थी. मैं किचन में ऑर्डर्स देती थी कि टेबल नंबर 14 पर ये चाहिए, ये नहीं आया है, प्याज कम है, वो सब एज अ 10-year-old.
क्या बात कर रहे हो? सच्ची?
तो I've worked in the restaurant as.
नहीं, I'm fascinated by 2 things here. एक, आप इतना स्पोर्ट्स खेल रही हो, लेक में बिंदास तैर रही हो और ये सब मस्ती कर रही हो. These aren't like by the norm of the world, the things that women do openly and like so unabashedly. And 2, आप और आपकी बहन एक पूरी entrepreneurial जर्नी पे निकले हो. मतलब आप अपना खुद का गल्ला संभाल रहे हो ना एक तरीके से.
जी.
तो ये दोनों चीजें बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग लगती हैं. तो परिवार से ऐसी छूट नहीं बोलूंगा, बट परिवार से ऐसा माहौल था क्या which was saying कि यार you do whatever you want and sporty रहो, बिंदास रहो?
This probably came from my mother, from my grandmother. इस they were so strong. ऐसे कभी लगा नहीं यार ये मर्दों का काम है, ये औरतों का काम है, ऐसे लगा ही नहीं. क्योंकि my mother used to be आप changing the bulbs in the house. So when I started watching films, when I started seeing that why are women doing this, men doing this, after I grew up is when I started realizing यार ऐसे क्यों होता है. क्योंकि हमारे घर में तो गैस सिलेंडर आता है, माई मदर यूज्ड टू पिक इट अप एंड चेंज इट, या लाइक एज थिंग्स लाइक दिस इज एज नॉर्मल एज इफ माई डैड वाज देयर ही डू इट, इफ ही इज नॉट देयर माई मदर डू इट.
Nice.
So it was never a thing of this is a man's job, this is a female's job.
I love it. I mean, for me, the biggest learning is also this, that your mother's a Miss India. वो बल्ब चेंज कर रही है as a visual for me. It's like मैं अभी imagine कर रहा हूँ नहीं करते हुए. मुझे काफी fascinating लग रहा है यार. क्या बढ़िया चीज़ है. मतलब लोग ऐसे expect नहीं करते, but यही सच है कि this is how it should be. I mean, you don't look at it as something which is out of the ordinary. It is the ordinary, then it will be a better society. You would be the girl who would be beating people up.
Yeah, I would be. Matlab, if I was, I've just done a show called Fadu where Pavel Gulati is my co-star. And like, यार कितनी मारती है ये लड़की. So she's always complaining to Ashwini ma'am, our director, saying यार कितनी मारती है ये लड़की. So I've been that girl ever since I was young. That don't mess with me kind of a girl. So you say something, I'll give it back to you. I'm not going to be coy and be So I give it back quite a bit. But हाँ, जब हम खेलते थे, अगर क्रिकेट में कोई चीट कर रहा है ये वो, तो वो गेंद लेके मारना, वो सब नॉर्मल ही था.
हाँ, वो तो जैसे क्रिकेट अब जब स्टंप फट जाते हैं और रात हो जाती है तो मारम पीटी भी चलती थी हमारे यहाँ. तो वो आप भी करती थी?
बिल्कुल. जब अगर मेरे स्टंप, मेरी बैट है, मेरी बैटिंग पहले, वो सभी करते हैं.
What was your relation with your sister? How was the camaraderie? Were you drawing all of these like kind of inspirations of being whoever the hell you wanted to be from her or from your mother or from other women in the household?
My sister is just 2 years older than I am. but she always had this protective, I'm your older sister, so if someone gives a mean review, I've not even read it, she'll be like, how dare they say this? Like, she's the one who'll read all the reviews, she's the one who will be like, I don't like anyone talking ill of my sister. So she's that protective sister. Okay. I think that comes from the stature of being the older sister. तो वो हो ही जाता है. So she was always so overly protective and still is so overly protective of me that I know she'll take a bullet for me. वो वही sibling का जो प्यार होता है वही था.
When you are a powerful woman, two children around you, you set an example about how to be and how to just do things or carry yourself. तो जैसे मैं अपनी प्रोड्यूसर को ही बोल रहा था कि अगर आप लड़की को बारबी नहीं GI जो दे देते तो शायद कुछ और होता. बिल्कुल है ना वैसा. बिल्कुल. तो
वही मुझे वो तो समझ में नहीं आती थी चीज, क्योंकि शाम का वक्त जब होता है तो मराठी वर्ड है, आई डोंट नो इफ यू ऑल विल अंडरस्टैंड, भातुकली.
घर खेलते हैं जिनके
साथ. घर खेलते हैं, वो छोटी छोटी प्लेट और वो टी कप वो सब होता है. Like my school friends, a lot of them used to be playing that. They'd be like, you come to play. My girl school friends, I'd be like, no, I'm playing cricket with Iqbal. So like, why will I play with some small tea plates? Yeah. Like our textbooks also said that the girl was in the kitchen, the boy was out. But why? Yeah. Like I have always lived that life of being outside, so I've never related to what we were probably taught. I've never related to it because that's not how I was on my dad's motorcycle carrying his furniture as a 8-year-old. He's nice. Into furniture. That's what my childhood has been,
So cool. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. I think that is another thing that can, I mean, if folks from NCRT, HSC, SSC, any of the boards of that run our country are watching this, by any chance, अगर हम किताबों में कुछ फेरबदल कर पाएंगे, बिल्कुल, तो आधा फेमिनिज्म तो वहीं रिजॉल्व हो जाएगा.
Even in school and colleges, when you have your sports period, why are guys allowed to play volleyball and girls have to play dodgeball? I used to have problems there. Even in sport, there's disparity of this is the sport a girl will play.
तो आपका go-to person कौन था childhood में फिर?
Go-to person, यार, I feel it's always your parents as if there is any kind of crisis. Like I have this bunch of school friends, so they've always been my go-to people क्योंकि कई बार parents से कई चीजें नहीं कही जाती. So they have always been my go-to people. This bunch
of have those friends?
They are still very much there. They'll tell me this film was rubbish and they'll tell me like honest. They are as brutally honest as possible, and which is what I feel keeps me going because I know I have a really solid support system.
So your love for sports has a story in itself, but it is against a lot of things. Like you said, आपकी stories हैं कई सारी जो आपने हमें already बताई, but ये चालू कहाँ से हुआ?
कभी वो सोचा नहीं है यार, पर ऐसे ही होता है कि बचपन में अभी स्कूल खत्म हुआ है, rest of the day my parents just be like, you have to utilize your time. So maybe it's a small town thing. मैं कुछ ना कुछ खेलती थी, मतलब I was always outdoor. Yeah. So it was always an outdoor activity.
That's right.
Yeah, I think it's a small town thing.
And आपके father काफी supportive थे आपके sports को लेके क्यों?
Father, mother भी दोनों supportive थे, but my father was somebody who's also very adventurous in life. He's a runner, he's a trekker, swimmer, वो सब.
तो जब आपकी माँ मिस इंडिया बनी, तब आप काफी young हो, but you must have seen the rub off into your life, or was there?
I wasn't born at all. Yeah.
I mean, 91, 92, right? So
no, like, she was. I remembered because India won the World Cup. She was Miss India in 83.
83. Okay. So then तो आपको कुछ idea नहीं है फिर.
No idea at all.
बट ऐसा कोई ब्यूटी स्टैंडर्ड सेटिंग नहीं था कि ये मिस इंडिया की बेटी है और ऐसा रहना मांगता है या ऐसा कुछ?
नहीं, माय फादर तो यूज्ड टू मेक फन आफ्टर वी वर बोर्न कि ये मिस इंडिया थी, अब मदर इंडिया बन गई है. सो घर में तो वी यूज्ड टू लाफ एंड जोक अराउंड विद हर बिकॉज लाइक आई सेड लिटरली शी वाज द वन चेंजिंग द बल्ब्स एंड डूइंग द गार्डनिंग. सो दैट वाज माय इमेज ऑफ माय मदर. माय मॉम इज रियली टॉल, शी इज 5'9" and a half. So it was always this very towering personality who was not a model personality, if I could say.
Yeah.
So वो तो standards बिल्कुल नहीं थे.
Do you think Bollywood had any impact on your life in the growing years?
I was not allowed to watch films.
Till when?
Till I was 13 years old, I was not allowed to watch films.
Oh wow.
So my father was that was one thing he was very strict about. कि नहीं, पिक्चरें नहीं देखनी है, आप पहले जिंदगी जियो, ये वो, तेरा के बाद फिल्म. तो probably when I was 15, 16, that's when I really started watching a lot of films.
But coming back to a little more of college life, were you ever the person that would take the first stance and like take the first step in asking somebody out, etc.?
I've never been that young love person. I feel I've been a very old soul. Yeah, I don't know why. I've
But
just
you
been
still
a very old
still
soul.
ask people out.
No,
I
no.
think.
So yeah, I mean, if there's somebody who I liked, I didn't have any reservations.
Oh, you took the first step.
Yeah, I take the first step. I have no reservation
Nice.
at all.
जब ऐसे पहली पिक्चर काम नहीं करते तो मेंटली कैसे वो आपको इफेक्ट करता है?
इतना मजा किया उस फिल्म पे, इतना मजा किया, बिकॉज आई एम लाइक राकेश सर स्टिल फैमिली, लाइक आई गो वंस अ मंथ टू हैव सर खाना दे दो, घर का खाना चाहिए एंड ऑल, आई गो देयर, ही इज स्टिल फैमिली. फॉर माय बिगेस्ट टेक अवे फ्रॉम द फिल्म वाज माय relationship with Gulzar Saab. I love Gulzar Saab. So there was a lot of takeaway for me, positive takeaways for me, but I didn't realize how difficult the failure will be till like 8 months after the film. क्योंकि I was just like, I didn't know, I'm not a filmy kid, तो मुझे नहीं पता यार, जब मतलब पिक्चर डूब जाती है ऐसे होता है. But then I was signed for 2 films, those people didn't answer my agent's calls and I was randomly just ignored. पिक्चर के पहले बहुत सारे नए फ्रेंड्स, फैमिली जो आ जाती है रिलीज के पहले, अरे हम तो मतलब वो सब होता है, बचपन के दोस्त थे एंड ऑल, दे ऑल सडनली गो अवे आफ्टर फिल्म नॉट डूइंग वेल.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's very brutal. It's that Friday. You know who your real friends are, you know who your family is. So it gave me all that learning.
आपके साथ भी इंसिडेंट हुए हैं जब एंटर करनी थी आप, या आपके साथ भी कुछ ऐसे वार्तालाप हुए हैं जो अनप्लेजेंट थे? क्यों?
वो अनप्लेजेंट तो अभी भी होते हैं.
क्या बात कर रहे हो?
उस वक्त ही नहीं, अभी भी होते हैं अनप्लेजेंट. When I was starting off, there was a lot of my piece of advice to you. You should get a lip job done. And
I'm sorry, I just like went to your lips immediately. I was just understanding why somebody has that as a recommendation.
no, fuller lips are the
अच्छा,
in
अच्छा,
thing.
अच्छा,
या ऐसे कुछ होता है.
अच्छा, अच्छा.
So I used to just smile, say हाँ जी, okay ठीक है. So all that I went through, there was also a phase of very sadly women calling up and how do I put it? Well, the casting couch is
saying that you need to go to a hotel room.
Yeah.
Was that the kind of MO?
There were women who used to call and they said नहीं, they really like the audition, सब कुछ तो अच्छा है पर compromise करना पड़ेगा. That was the word.
सीधा बोले.
That was the word. So I was playing dumb. I said मतलब, so they said नहीं वो आप समझ लो. ऐसे नहीं, मुझे नहीं पता क्या कह रहे हो आप. That lady got a little, because I was trying to play dumb, so she said नहीं वो समझ लो, and she got a little awkward. So this went on for some time. I said देखिए ma'am, there is nothing against people who would want to go to any level to get work, because maybe they really are so desperate for it. I am not in that place, fortunately, touch wood, financially or otherwise
anyway,
also.
Yeah.
So there have been those instances also when I was starting off.
हमें सूत्रों के द्वारा पता लगा है कि आप एक ऐसी फिल्म कर रही हैं जिसमें क्रिकेट इन्वॉल्व है और एथलेटिक होना इन्वॉल्व है, बट हमारे देश में कहीं ना कहीं वो एक्सेप्टेंस पूरी तरीके से नहीं आई है. जब मैंने रश्मि रॉकेट देखी या मैंने जो बाकी फिल्में देखी जो स्पोर्ट्स के अराउंड बनी हुई हैं, उनको उतना एक्सेप्टेंस नहीं मिला जो वो मेल काउंटर पार्ट्स की सेम काइंड ऑफ सिनेमा को मिलता. Is it difficult to kind of portray what are the thoughts that are going behind, and just how is it to play a female lead who's an athletic folk in the film?
Personally for me, it was the biggest dream come true, because cricket was my first passion and then cinema was my second passion. So playing it was like waking up on set and going, literally I used to run to set, because that was my practice for getting into character. Not workout, getting into character. It was, I used to run 4.5 kilometers to set.
Wow.
And that was my way of getting in also. Initial few days when we were staying in a particular location, but it's not a cricket story per se. Yes, it's predominantly sport cricket. It's a human story. It's a story of hardship. It's, for me, that is what I was attracted to more than the cricket, to be honest.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. थोड़ा सेक्स रेशियो अपने सेट पे बेटर होना चाहिए क्यों? It's still very very heavily male skewed, isn't it? Like as a workspace.
Actually, things have really changed and improved a lot, especially in my last 2 projects.
Yeah.
I used to see very few men. I was like, wow, this is, the full AD team. There were 9 ADs, 2 of them were men.
Super.
And 7 of them were women. I'd really like to see more female DOPs. That is one area where it's looked upon, females don't do this, but even that's changing, which feels really really good.
मैं ना अभी 30 साल का हो गया हूँ. We are at the same age, but I know कि मैं अगर आज तक शादी नहीं करता तो मुझे 100 ताने मिलते. आपके साथ ऐसा हुआ क्या? आपको कोई भी कुछ भी बोलता है क्या?
I don't know if it's a profession, but it's not come to me.
क्या बात कर रहे हो?
मेरे जो स्कूल के फ्रेंड्स हैं, 4 girls are married, 2 are not, but it's non-stop of like, अभी तो शादी कैसे हो जाएगी, or 30 years old, it's that.
Like, it's a question कि how will it happen?
How will it happen? So that mentality is still there, very much still there. It's not like they don't want to get married, but we'll do it when we want to get married, right? I have nothing against marriage. It's a very beautiful institution and I am totally for it. But when you're ready for it.
100%.
Yeah.
Consent is something else that we discuss on the show a lot, and I think nobody taught us about consent, didn't they? I mean, like, it would have been so much better if, like,
You think?
they could have taught us, no? People could have taught us. Nobody taught us, no? I wasn't taught, I know.
I have my core group of friends are 4 girls. It was a very strong
Point of discussion? क्या बात कर
It
रहे हो?
always was.
जैसे कि
Yeah,
मतलब,
जैसे college में भी.
हाँ.
It was always, it was not taken for granted. It was definitely
So nice.
not taken for granted.
what is feminism for you, and आप feminist हो क्या?
Feminism is in your daily activities where there is no
Divide.
between what a boy and a girl does. It's as simple as that.
And-
Feminism is to me making your partner, making your boyfriend, husband cook for a change.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like, it's totally okay. So for me, feminism comes from these small changes that you bring. And gee, I'm a complete feminist because I'm the one who's, well, made a cricket team or, well, would have loved to run a restaurant of my own, be what I speak. So yes.
Superb, yaar. I love it. Is there a message to the 16-year-old self that you would like to give?
I was very happy when I was 16. I never want to grow up. Try and travel a little more. So I traveled a lot, but just travel a little more.
Wow.
You know.
What are the things that you think men should stop telling women, or just like stop preaching?
Men should stop telling women, there should never be a
Upper hand.
upper hand for you
Nice.
to tell me something.
Perfect.
I mean, it should always be an equal. If I want to tell you something, I will. You want to tell me something, but it should be an equal. There should never be I'm a man telling you this. It should never be that. That is feminism. So I
100%.
think men who want to be feminists, it starts there.
Correct.
You know, it starts there.
And just generally, I think you've answered how can men be allies also in this bit. Like if we just, work things out. But you can answer that if you have an independent answer also.
It has to be an equal. The relationship has to be of an equal. I'm not that person who will ever want this differentiation of any kind, of any kind at all. I'm not also that person who will unnecessarily take on the system. I will not be a woman has a sixth sense that a man doesn't have. When you know that you're not feeling safe in a certain environment. So my feminism is also that of taking care of yourself, don't take on something just to prove a point.
Yeah. But thank you so much. I think we've had an amazing chat. Where all are we going to be seeing you that you can tell us about?
This was a really, really nice chat and I'm glad that Hauterrfly and you're doing this property. I've got a bunch of exciting things. One is Fadu, of course, which is on Sony Live. I'm playing a cricketer in Balki sir's film Ghar, where entirely different, lot of hardships.
Story.
Yes. I'm playing a firefighter in Rahul Dholakia's film Agni.
Wow.
So far these and then hopefully a few more.
Oh, we wish you all luck and thank you so much for all the compliments. It's time that humans evolve.
Absolutely.
So
Thank
let
you.
us know what is the best, आपको कौन सा सबसे best part लगा comments में, what is your learning and takeaway, and keep watching the Male Feminist and Hauterrfly.